Today in the news, Chairman McGough forwards committee recommendation on COVID landlord tenant notice ordinance to the mayor. Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson announces more than $10 million in coronavirus relief for colleges and universities for losses and emergency financial aid grants. And the local community members and organizations are holding a Caravan rally at Prairieland Detention Center in Tarrant County Jail to support the national hashtag Free Them All. Today is April 20th, 2020, and this is Dallas Weekly News. Hello, I am your host, Patrick Washington, and this is Dallas Weekly News. Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Adam McGough, chairman of the Ad Hoc Committee on COVID-19 Human and Social Recovery and Assistance, sent Mayor Eric Johnson the recommendation to approve the COVID notice ordinance to help keep impacted tenants in their homes during the COVID-19 crisis. This recommendation was supported unanimously by the Ad Hoc Committee on COVID-19 Human and Social Recovery and Assistance. McGough, a professional mediator, facilitated an expedited process whereby input was sought from all interested stakeholders. The COVID notice ordinance proposed by Chairman McGough would require residential landlords to issue a COVID notice of possible eviction that provides tenants information on rental assistance and at least 21 days to negotiate lease payment agreements with the landlords. Additionally, if tenants provide proof of financial hardships due to COVID-19, then the proposed ordinance enables tenants to receive up to 60 days prior to facing a notice to vacate. The proposed ordinance explicitly excludes any delays of evictions when there is evidence of abatable criminal activity and does not excuse any requirement for the tenant to pay rent under the agreed upon lease. The ordinance would only remain in effect in conjunction with the declared disaster declaration and is limited to, in its application, residential properties. On April 16, 2020, the Ad Hoc Committee voted unanimously on the COVID landlord tenant notice ordinance and recommended passage by the full City Council on the upcoming April 22, 2020 agenda. Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson announced that colleges and universities within the 30th Congressional District will receive more than $10 million in emergency grants to help cover significant financial losses. At least half of the funding is going to institutions is required to be distributed to students in the form of emergency cash grants to help students pay for housing, food, and other necessities. Eddie Bernice Johnson was quoted, "This emergency funding by the Department of Education will help students and schools rapidly adapt to the new reality that COVID-19 pandemic has created. My colleagues and I have worked hard to ensure adequate funding is provided to students who need it as together we adapt these rapidly changing times." On Sunday, April 19, 2020, at 12 p.m., ICE out of Tarrant Coalition Community Advocates and partnership organizations held a Caravan car rally to demand release of individuals inside Prairieland Detention Center and Tarrant County Jail. People in detention are highly vulnerable to outbreaks, and there are currently dozens of reports indicated that jail conditions create an atmosphere that encourages the spread of COVID-19, despite recommendations by practices provided by the Center for Disease Control. This has been Dallas Weekly News for April 20th, 2020. Find these and more stories at dallasweekly.com and follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Once again, I am Patrick Washington, your host, and stay home, stay safe. This has been Dallas Weekly News.